Hi, this is Brian with New Mexico Dream House at Keller Williams. We are going to talk about real estate myths. So this is myth number one. Myth number one is that housing is a commodity. I see this on Facebook and I see this on Instagram and I see this in the blogosphere from time to time. People talk about housing as a commodity. Supply and demand, it's a commodity. And if there's not a lot of supply, demand goes up, housing goes up, yada, 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 yada. You're boring me to death with that narrative. Commodities are raw materials used to trade something for something, usually of monetary value. So housing is driven a lot by the commodities market in that there are a lot of commodities that go into a house. A commodity would be like lumber, copper, plastics, oil is a commodity, natural gas is a commodity that we love here in San Juan County. Coal is a commodity. Housing is not a commodity. Housing is more of an emotional decision. A commodity, by definition, is something that people use as a vehicle to build their financial wealth, primarily as a vehicle to drive their financial wealth. So, can you commoditize housing? Yes, you can. But the house that you live in is not a commodity. It's a thing that you own, that you live in, that will probably appreciate over time, but you didn't buy it so that you could build wealth, primarily. You bought it in hopes that you would build wealth along the way, but you bought it so that you could move in, you could decorate it the way you want to, you could paint the walls the colors that you want to, choose the finishes that you want to finish, and you bought it because it's conducive to the way of life that you want to live. For me, my house, the one that I live in, I love it. It backs up to the golf course. It has grass in the backyard that I don't have to take care of. It has good views. It has a big living room because we do a lot of entertaining. We host our church group every Sunday night. We absolutely love our house. Now, have I gained equity through the purchase of my house? Yes, I have, and that's fantastic. But even if I had lost money on my house, I wouldn't regret the purchase simply because it's not a commodity. It's not the primary driver for building my wealth. Let's talk about the commoditization, however you say that. Let's talk about building wealth through housing. The financialization of housing can cause it to become a commodity. So in some markets, when investors come in and they make bullish moves in real estate, and their only goal is to financialize that real estate, put a tenant in there, flip it, then it's a commodity. But by and large, housing is not a commodity. For somebody like myself, my personal house, not a commodity. The houses I buy as investments are commodities. So it's a complicated, multifaceted system. It's not as simple as, hey, housing is a commodity, supplies down, prices go up. No, it's not that at all. There are economic drivers along the way. It's not a raw good. It's very much so processed. You can ask any contractor you know. So myth number one, busted. Housing is not simply a commodity. Tune in here. We're going to start a myth-busting series. So look forward to doing that with you. Post your questions about real estate below. I would love to know what myths that you might believe in the long run. Give me a call, Brian Crawford. We sell more houses in San Juan County than anybody. Thanks.